If we undock our tile picker and change its size, you'll see that scroll bars don't automatically show up. We're going to have to tell the window where the actual scroll area is. Let's go back into our tile picker window. At the top of our class, we're going to need to keep a reference to the scroll position of the scroll bars. Let's create a public vector2 for scroll position. And here we'll set this to a vector 0. Next, we'll need to define the viewport size. We're going to want to put this right above where we call draw texture. Let's create a variable called viewport. And we're going to set this to a new rect. And we're going to use a property called position width and position height in order to calculate the size of the actual window. Now we know how big the window is, but we're also going to want to take into account the size of the scroll bars. So now let's subtract 5 from both the width and the height for those. Next, we need to create the content size. The content size represents the object that we're trying to display within the scroll area. This is what lets the scroll bars know whether they need to show or not. Here we'll create a new rect. Its position will be 0, 0. And its width is going to be the new texture size x plus the offset x. This will take into account the drop-down we're using for the scale. Let's do the same thing for the y position. Next, we're going to need to create the actual scroll view. We'll do this above the draw texture. A scroll view is similar to a horizontal or vertical layout. There will be a begin and an end call. The begin scroll view returns the current scroll position. This is what updates the scroll view as you scroll up and down. So let's set the scroll position to the value that's returned by the scroll view. Here, we'll pass in the viewport as the first item. Next, we'll supply the current scroll position. And finally, we'll give it the content size. And right below our call to draw texture, we're going to need to end the scroll view. Now let's save our code and go back into Unity. Once it updates, we should now see scroll bars showing us the full view of our texture. If we change the size to something like 2, the scroll bars will go away. And if we change the window to be even smaller, we'll get vertical and horizontal scroll bars. And now let's redock the tile picker. And in the next video, we'll look into highlighting the actual tile we want to pick.